Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. Today I have for you a lovely Valentine's Day wreath made with a heart wire wreath frame. The beautiful decorative wood crafting heart from Hobby Lobby, 4 types of 6-inch deco mesh, snowball tulle, glitter hearts, mesh tubing, and 2 types of wired Valentine's Day ribbon. This one is so pretty. I hope you feel inspired to make this one. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you are not currently. And as well, if you enjoy this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up. And as always, your comments are always welcomed. Okay, let me show you how I created this very, very pretty Valentine's Day wreath. It was very easy to construct. It actually was constructed with a lot of leftover materials from Christmas. So I decided to use up what I had, and I ended up creating this very beautiful wreath. So I'm thinking maybe you could also do the same with your red and white leftover materials from the holidays. That is that beautiful crafting heart that I mentioned before. That's from Hobby Lobby. This is a wire wreath frame in the shape of a heart. It's around 13 inches across the widest portion of that wreath frame. Now, sometimes you can find these at the Dollar Tree. I have seen them at Hobby Lobby. You can also get them on Amazon. So wherever you can find one of those, the one that I used is about 13 inches wide at the widest portion. I have some leftover mesh from Christmas. Actually, some of these I picked up on like 70% off clearances, 80% off. Wherever I was at, I looked for clearance materials from the holidays. This is a great time of year to pick up mesh after the holidays. So I picked up a few rolls at Joann's. I picked some up at Hobby Lobby. And so that's what I'm going to use on this wreath today. I have there some Crafters Collection acrylic paint in the color red, and also some fine glitter and red that I picked up at Hobby Lobby during the holidays. I have here 2 types of ribbon. These were also clearance ribbons from last season. That's what I'm telling you. Always go after the holiday and pick up your materials for the next year's holiday. It really is beneficial to do that. I have there some heart picks that I picked up at Walmart. These are really pretty little glitter heart picks in the Valentine's Day department at Walmart. I also have some snowball tulle there. It's in a 10-inch roll. I picked that up at Joann's. It was a clearance item, 80% off from Christmas. I have there some glitter hearts. All of these are left over from last year. You could find these at the Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, anywhere that sells Valentine's Day decor materials. They also can come on a pick like that. Those are from Hobby Lobby. So because I'm using the tool that has the metallic threads through it, I'm going to go with a more of a glitter finish on this wreath, because those tools are very metallic and shiny. So I have 4 different types of 6-inch mesh. That one narrow striped mesh, it looks to me like it's a 5-inch. And I had gotten that on clearance as well at Joann's. So I'm using a white 6-inch mesh there. It has a silver finish going through it, silver threads going through it. I'm going to pair that up with this narrow striped red and white, and this has metallic going through it. So I'm going to pair that up with the white. I'm just going to be doing simple scrunch method bundles here today. So I place the folded side, the side that rolled up, put that face down. Oh my goodness, it was hard for me to describe that. And go ahead and scrunch right down the center with your fingertips. When you get to the other end, just use a clip to hold that. Okay, so place your mesh down. Oh, I guess I decided to go with a red on that one. I found my rotary cutter. At first, I had to use scissors. I was having trouble locating that. So for my scrunches, I'd fold down the end just a little bit under, and then I just scrunch right down the center with my fingertips. Now I'm going to put it in the clip with the other scrunch that I am going to pair it up with. And then I cut my 10-inch snowball tulle in half in 15-inch long sections. My tulle is also 15 inches long in length. Now you're going to notice that my tulle is going to be a little bit shorter than the length of the mesh that I cut, the deco mesh that I cut. That's because when I cut my 10-inch in half, I ended up with 5-inch widths. So that's why it looks a little bit shorter. But it's fine with me. I actually like it like that. And it creates a very pretty little bundle. Okay, now I'm going to do the other bundle. I decided to pair up that white 6-inch mesh with this more wider red and white 6-inch deco mesh. It also has metallic threads going through it. So this piece is really more on the shiny, kind of glitterish, if that's a word, side. So I'm going to stick with glitter theme and the metallic theme on this one. And now I have my little deco mesh piece, or my snowball tulle, and I'm going to place that on the top. All of my bundles got that little piece of tulle, 15 inches long, and it's actually around 5 inches wide after I cut it in half from that 10-inch spool. I recently got that snowball tulle at Joann's, so if you have a Joann's handy, I would go by and check and see if you could pick that up, because sometimes it's very difficult to find that type of tulle. All right, so I did use this last year for a very pretty wreath that I did, but I put it on a round wreath. This year I'm going with a heart-shaped wreath. And getting the hanger off there, I think this is one of the prettiest crafting pieces that Hobby Lobby has out for Valentine's Day. I think it is just lovely. So I'm going to take my red paint. It's actually in the color red. It's the Crafters Collection acrylic paint that's sold at Hobby Lobby. And the color is red. So I'm going to go ahead and paint the entire surface of that heart. And here you have it. Now, this would actually be very beautiful to create a wreath with if you didn't have all of the metallics and glitters going on. I could see doing this wreath, doing a wreath with this beautiful heart, just with the painted red finish. It's very tempting. I may still do something with it because I think it looks so pretty with that red paint on there. But because of, as I mentioned, the finishes on my deco mesh, I'm going to go ahead and use some glitter on this piece. So in sections, I just take a sponge applicator with Mod Podge, and I place a layer of Mod Podge on that painted wood heart, and then I just sprinkle some fine glitter over that. Doesn't have to be a solid glitter. I'm just getting a nice layer of glitter on there. So just continue on doing that very same process in small sections until you completely cover that heart with a nice layer of glitter. I get my glitter at Hobby Lobby. It's on sale, usually around every other week. You could get glitter on sale at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I'm going to just continue on doing the entire heart until it's completely covered. Now I am going to place my deco mesh bundles on. I did 12 bundles of each of the patterns. So in total, there's 24 bundles that are going to go around the perimeter of that wire heart wreath frame. Now, initially, I placed my bundles on the middle wire. And when I went to put on my glitter heart, I really had wished that I would put them on the outer wire. So you'll see me doing the inner wire here, but I ended up changing it completely, every bundle, to the outer wire. Yes, I make the mistakes for you, then I tell you about it so you don't make the same mistakes. Yeah, that's the way it goes with this process. So I'm going to be alternating my bundles with each of the two different bundle patterns. And I'm just going to go around the outer perimeter, and I'm going to put a very solid, very full layer of those beautiful deco mesh bundles onto this wreath frame. I take my, after I apply a bundle, I lift up the bundle before it, and I press that deco mesh bundle right underneath and into the other one. And this way I get a very solid, very full blanket of deco mesh bundles all over my wreath frame. Now I'm going to be going around the back and cleaning up all of those pipe cleaner tails. And I just use my wire cutters to do that. Now, I'm going to place my heart onto this wreath. And I want it to be not sitting right on top, but submerged about an inch. So I want it down in the deco mesh about an inch. So I had to manipulate my bundles to accommodate that. So you kind of have to leave some... let me tell you about this. A friend of mine gave me this. Isn't that cute, that pouch? I put all of my my glue sticks in there. It was a nice little Christmas present. Back to the wreath. I made room for my heart by lifting my deco mesh so that I could get some of it, the mesh to go, some of the sign, the glitter heart sign, to go down into the mesh. But you have to also be careful that you're not showing the wire wreath frame. So some of the deco mesh I left underneath that glitter heart, and then the rest I surrounded around the glitter heart, if that made sense. Just be careful that when you look through your glitter heart that you're not seeing your wreath frame. So you're going to leave a little bit of the deco mesh under there, but for the most part, you're going to pull it back and set your glitter heart down in there. About an inch down, I want to say, just a little bit down into that wreath. Okay, then I took my hot glue gun and I just went around that glitter heart and I glued that glitter heart to the deco mesh. Now, I think this is sufficient. I did not wire it on. I did not use a pipe cleaner or anything of the like to attach that. because I was concerned that it was going to show for the most part. So I do not store my wreaths in a hot attic or anywhere that's hot. So I'm not concerned about that hot glue holding. Besides, I use Gorilla Glue, which is an excellent glue. If you are concerned about that, simply use Aleene's Tacky. Go around and use that tacky glue and glue your heart to your deco mesh. It's as simple as that. So I have some mesh tubing here. You could pick this up at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to leave about 6-inch tails. I'm just going to create a few bundles of this mesh tubing. I just create 2 figure-8 bows. I leave about 5-inch tails. I use a little piece of pipe cleaner, wrap it around to secure the loops. I believe I made 7 mesh tubing bundles. I'm just going to place those around the wreath. I love the look of the tails popping up out of the mesh, and I love the little loops popping up out of the mesh. I do not, again, attach these to the wreath frame. If you would like to do that, leave longer tails on your pipe cleaners. I simply create a little stub, if you will, with my pipe cleaners, and I put a little bit of hot glue on that, and I poke it down in the deco mesh. That's the way I do mine. You do you. If you'd rather attach it to the wreath frame, that's fine. Just poke your fingers to the deco mesh and you could do that. But I'm just putting a little bit of hot glue like you see me doing here. I find this spot where I want that mesh tubing bundle to be. I pop it down in there. Then I take something like my scissors, or in this case, I use my little wood dowel. I push it down in there, and now I have my little tails popping up, which I love the look of that, and I trim them off accordingly. And now I'm going to go around and put some glitter hearts. I have 2 different sizes, neither of which are very big. I want to say they're maybe 1.5 inches. And the other one is even smaller than that, maybe 1 inch wide. Because I think that this glitter heart, the one in the center, really is the star of the bow of the wreath show, if you ask me. I think it doesn't need a whole lot more than that. With the deco mesh of different types, some hearts, a little bit of mesh tubing, I think that's adequate for this piece. And I think it turned out so pretty. Now, I am going to hang this wreath by a ribbon with a bow attached to the ribbon. Now, firstly, I'm going to make a bow. I'm going to use 2 different types of ribbon for a nice, beautiful bow. It's going to be over the top of the wreath, and it's going to be complementary to all of the glitter and metallic going on that wreath. Now, this was a clearance ribbon from Joann Fabrics. Now, what I'm going to do is create a base bow. With this ribbon, I'm just going to create a 4-loop bow. I want to say my loops are around 9 inches long. And this is going to be the base bow, like I said. But what you're going to see here in just a second is I ran out of ribbon and my tail was going to be too short. So, yeah, I'm going to, guess what? I have to start over, but no big deal. So I'm just giving you a good look at that finished wreath. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm back to my bow. I have another ribbon. This one is from Hobby Lobby. And it's a nice satin heart ribbon. Very cute. And it has glittery red hearts. So it goes very pretty with all that glitter going on the wreath. Again, my loop's around 9 inches. I'm creating my base bow here. 4 loops all together. I leave about an 8-inch tail on my bow. So I'm just creating my bow in the same fashion that I always do. If you would like to learn to make bows like I do, look at my playlist. I have multiple tutorials where I take it nice and slow and methodical so that you can see how I create my bows. Okay, so that's going to be my base bow. I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and just wrap that around to secure those loops. Then I'm going to take a different ribbon for visual interest, and I'm going to create a little bit smaller bow and marry it up with that bow there. And that's going to be attached to my hanger, which I will show you how I created my ribbon hanger here in just a bit. I'm going to angle my tails as I typically do. You could dovetail if you like. I'm just a lover of the angled tails. Okay, here's my other ribbon. I want to say this was a Joann Fabrics ribbon. Look how cute that ribbon looks with that paired up with that other ribbon with the smaller hearts. That is a Joann's. That's definitely a Joann's. It was a satin ribbon, and it has red glitter hearts. So we're sticking with that glitter theme here. And I make my bow just a little bit smaller. I want to say the length of those loops is around 8 inches. I'm creating a 4-loop bow. I'm going to wrap my pipe cleaner around those loops, twist that in the back. I had a half a pipe cleaner there, I'm pretty sure. Now I'm just going to create one center loop by folding that under, creating one center loop. And I'm going to secure that by bringing my pipe cleaner through that loop and around the back and twist it. Now, I'm going to cut my ribbon off from the spool. I almost was out on that one as well. As you can see there, I got lucky, got through that bow without a disaster happening. Okay, so now I have my 2 bows, and I'm going to marry those 2 up, and they are going to look so pretty together. You see how pretty that is? Mixing your patterns. I can't emphasize enough how beautiful that looks. Okay, now I'm going to take a full-size pipe cleaner, and I'm going to poke it right through that center loop, wrap it around, even up the tails of that pipe cleaner, because I'm going to be using that pipe cleaner strategically here in just a few minutes. So pretty. Okay, now for the hanger, I chose that's all I had left of that ribbon. Boy, was I lucky. Okay, I turned my wreath over. Now what I'm going to do is attach a piece of ribbon. I want to say it's around 22 inches. It all depends on how long you want your hanger, but I did mine around 22 inches. Now I'm going to cut that ribbon off from the spool, and I'm going to fold it in half to find the center point. If you saw my previous tutorial with the heart sign, I'm doing the same thing with this wreath as I did with the sign. Now I'm going to pinch it in the center, wrap a little piece of pipe cleaner around there, and that's my center point. That's where I'm going to attach my bow. I cut off the excess. Now I'm going to have the good side of the ribbon facing forward because I want that to show from the front. I'm showing you there. So you're seeing the back side of the ribbon here with the back side of the wreath. Now I'm going to place my ribbon underneath my wire, and I'm going to attach it right at the curve of the heart, right in the center of the curve of the heart. I feed it under the wire. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun, put some hot glue there to hold that. Just like so. Fold it over. Hold it there for just a second so it starts to set. Then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and just finish attaching that by placing a little stream of glue and placing my ribbon upon my ribbon. And that's how I'm going to attach this. Now, I suggest you use a 1.5 inch ribbon. Don't be afraid to mix it up. If you have another pattern ribbon, that would be cute. Or you could just use a plain white ribbon, or you could use a plain red ribbon. But I think it's better if you use a 1.5 inch for that hanger part. All right, now I'm going to take my bow and the pipe cleaners on the back of my bow. I'm going to wrap it around that area where I gathered that ribbon at the center point. I'm going to twist it a couple of times. Now my bow is attached. And guess what? I have tails. And with those tails, I'm going to create a loop. Now I have a loop to hang my wreath. And it's as simple as that. Now you have a beautiful bow hanger for your beautiful Valentine's Day wreath. Now what you do with the tails is completely up to you. If you want to leave them just hanging down, if you want to curl them a little bit, which is what I ended up doing with mine, you could cut them shorter. You could spiral them. There, that's what I did with mine. See how I curled it? Now that's up to you. That's all a matter of personal preference. But that's it for this wreath. And I think it was a really easy wreath to make. And I think it's just so pretty for the Valentine's Day holiday. I hope you love this one, and I hope you feel inspired to make one. And here you have it, all completed. With the very beautiful bow and the hanger and those glittery hearts. All of the beautiful deco mesh bundles. This one is a beauty. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments. If you're not currently a subscriber, remember to subscribe. And as well, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tutorial. Okay, until next time, you all take care.